Welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to solve logarithmic equations. To explain a few things, I wrote down this equation, y equals log base 2 of x, and I've already graphed it over here. So it passes through this point 1, 0. It has a vertical asymptote. And so since it has a vertical asymptote at x equals 0, I don't get any negative x values. So if I wanted to state the domain is x is greater than 0 because I don't have any negative values. The range, my graph is going down to negative infinity and it keeps stretching up, going higher and higher. So my range would be all real numbers or negative infinity to infinity. If my domain is x is greater than 0, that means you can't take the log of a negative number. That's an important part that we're going to see later. When I want to solve log equations, I'm going to have two different scenarios show up. One of them is that log equals number, like I have now. And the second scenario is going to be log equals log. Let's do the first one. When you have the scenario log equals number, my strategy would be to put it into exponential form. So when I change this to exponential form, that becomes 2 to the third equals 2x. That base drops, and then the 3 and the 2x swap sides. Go ahead and take 2 to the third, so 8 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 4 is the answer I come up with. Plug it in today and make sure that you're never taking the log of a negative number. So right there is where it can't be negative. If x is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. So that's a positive number, and that comes out to be a true equation. Over here, there's a property of equality that says if you have log base b of x equals log base b of y, then x equals y. So what that's saying is if you have the log of the same base, you can drop the base and you can set that x equal to that y. So that's the property that we're going to use on the next problem. I have log base 2 and I have a log base 2. So since I have the same log, that means I can set x squared minus 4 equal to 3x. Now I have a quadratic. I know how to solve quadratics, so I need to subtract the 3x over to the other side and set it equal to 0. I would factor this. So when I make my ACV chart, I need factors of -4 that add to -3. And that would be -4 and 1. So this factors x minus 4, x plus 1 equals 0. From factored form, you're going to write two equations, set equal to 0. Add the 4 to the other side, so x equals 4, and x equals -1. Just because x equals -1, you cannot immediately dismiss it. It's not that x can't be a negative, it's that when you plug it in right there and there, that's where it cannot be negative. Let's plug 4 in first. 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. That works. Double check both sides. 3 times 4 is 12. So x equals 4, that's a good answer. Now let's plug -1 in. -1 squared is 1 1 minus 4, that gives me negative 3. Oh, I can't take the log of a negative number. Let's do it on this side as well. If x is negative 1, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. You can't take the log of a negative number. So negative 1 is what we would call extraneous, and we would have to eliminate that as one of your potential answers. Hope this helped. Thanks.